Jimmy the Brick Flick is a 15-5 flyweight born and still fighting out of Sand Springs, Oklahoma. The 30-year-old black belt is simply a great grappler, 13 out of 15 wins by submission. Jimmy put together the most action-packed Contender Series win I have ever seen. 12 submission attempts and finishing it off in the third with his 8th arm triangle. Octagon debut comes December 5th at UFC Vegas 16. Rewinding to 2012, Flick can improve to 6-0 with a win over Wesley Warchild Dunlap. And we got a front row seat. 0-2 for Wesley, but 2 wins at the amateur level. First action in round 1, the Brick pressuring forward, feinting the level change, then dives in. Dunlap good sprawl, but Flick keeps chipping away and earns that takedown. Seconds later, Flick pushes the left arm over his head and goes for the arm triangle choke. Now Dunlap tries to buck, but Jimmy advances into mount and then to right side control to lock in the submission. No tap from Dunlap, he goes night-night. Jimmy Flick puts Wesley Dunlap to sleep in just 1:08 seconds. Now up to 6-0 with 4 arm triangle chokes on his resume. Next bout we got 5 years later in 2017. Jimmy now with a record of 9-3 and he's 10 pounds heavier at bantamweight. Forced out of his element only because he heard Dana White didn't like the flyweights. Matching up against 23-12-1 brutal Johnny Bedford, tough season 14 vet, and a 2-3 record in the UFC. Jimmy Flick would chain submission after submission attempt together for 2 rounds before finally getting that guillotine from the top. Second win at 135 for Flick takes him to 10-3. Moving on to 2018, the Brick suffered another loss up at 135 to the UFC's Chris Gutierrez in between last fight and this, now facing Jameson Saudino. The Bellator vet with a record of 8-5 facing competitors like Ray Borg and Tyler Voth. Early first here, Flick pressures into the fence, then shoots. Body lock for the Brick makes the double leg accessible, and Flick dumps him down. 2 minutes and change later, Jimmy is taking his back, one hook engaged and wrapping the arm around the neck for the rear naked choke. Saudino defends well though, surviving the attempt. Now opponents back up, but deft inside trip by Flick to bring him back down. On to round 2, Flick on bottom, however working up in the half guard and uses the underhook and ankle pick to reverse. Saudino doesn't let the neck go and Jimmy needs no invitation for the shoulder pressure into the Von Flue choke. Jimmy Flick gets his 11th victory by way of his 9th submission. That is his 4th Von Flue choke, making a case to rename it to the Von Flick. Better stay off the mat against the Brick, cause he's snatching up submissions like a spider monkey. Last fight outside the octagon from July 2020. Jimmy with the double Allen Iverson arm sleeves for a big contest. Flyweight belt on the line against 10-1 Greg Fischer. 5 subs on his record. We're in for a grapple battle. Opening seconds, Flick clocks in with the leg kick, then feints the left into the takedown. Fischer defends with all his might, but the Brick is too strong. Rounds the corner on his opponent and snatches up the arm, looking for the choke with the head and arm. He turns him over and gets to the right side to lock it in. Fischer forced to tap. "38-second arm triangle choke for Jimmy Flick, improving to 14-5 while also capturing the LFA flyweight title. Fischer could not even reel off a strike. The Brick earned a UFC contract through the Contender Series, and now he's back at the Apex 3 months later to face Cody Durden at UFC Vegas 16.